So we're gonna talk about Mr. Destiny Payton, who got a chance to do an interview over there with Dear Future Wifey podcast. Okay, and don't worry, for those of you guys that did not get a chance to check it out, here is a snippet for y'all.
And why did you disappear?
Well, what had happened
What
was
happened was that's when black folks would tell a story, they always start off with what had happened was. All right, so what had happened was
the political answer is contractual issues. Yeah, that would be why I didn't return. The divorce that I ended in 2021 has been drug on until 2024.
Well, is it still a legal issue where you can't discuss what's going on, why it's dragging on, or are you at liberty to say that?
I can say, I'm at liberty to say.
Okay, well, why is it dragging on? Why is it reopened? If there's no child support issue,
no custody visitation,
no custody.
issues.
So what else is there?
Thing that has always been requested is that it's a punitive type thing. It's always hold her in contempt and put her in jail.
For what though? What would you be held in contempt for?
Talking about said person in interviews.
Oh, so
which is not even in our decree, by the way. Yeah, from a moral standpoint, I didn't want to mention him on the show, and I felt like keeping my silence about what was going on would protect my son. And I realized that keeping my silence only allowed a lot of the things that were going on in my marriage to continue. And me having to sit in narratives and different things that weren't real, weren't actual or factual. And I feel like it hurt me more than it helped the situation because I was in protective mode of the person that I had a son with.
So how did it hurt you?
Because they were still allowed to abuse me in other ways. Judicial system, financial, and I never saw that coming.
So when you say financial, was he the major breadwinner in the home?
No, he wasn't. But what I asked for the only thing that I did ask for was 1 year of him paying the mortgage on the home. And I was refinancing the home in my name. And I did, but he refused to give me the mortgage statement. But the story that's put out into the world is that I was squatting in my own home that I owned and I wouldn't get out. And this man has supported me and did so much for me, and I should be able to, move forward. But I didn't think for a whole year that I would be in court. So I get a call from Martell, and he's like, "Hey man, you all right?" And I'm like, "What you talking about?" He was like, I'm pissed off right now. What is going on? And I'm like, he's like, you're on Crime Stoppers. And I said, well, get off my phone. And I hung up on him. And then
you was on Crime Stoppers?
I was on Crime Stoppers. And the only reason why I was on Crime Stoppers was because of who I am.
Yeah.
In my experience with, turning myself in, I'm sitting there just like,
how did we get here?
I'm really in a real jail for something that ain't real. And all the flashbacks to the times that I picked up the phone and called the police about domestic situations and couldn't pull the trigger.
Yep.
Couldn't give a name, couldn't say his name. Literally, like go through the process multiple times. The detectives calling me, press charge, and I just couldn't do it. And I'm sitting here in real jail for something like this. And actually being married to someone that now seeks pleasure in your pain. The thing that's crazy is that, the job of a producer that's assigned to you, a field producer, is for them to, you give them, you confide in them.
Yeah.
And not only was she my producer, we actually became friends after she left the show. And then I get a text message where it's like, hey, out of respect for you and our friendship, and as a woman, I want to tell you that we getting serious. I'm like, when did you and your cousin? When did y'all even start dating? What are you talking about? I've known that man for over 15 years.
Y'all go way back.
Way back. And now these people are creating a storyline around me. This is my real life. Like they're trying to pitch a show, I think, or something. I don't know what's going on.
Thank you so much, Keisha, for the super chat. Love and Marriage. Huntsville needs a much longer break in filming. Thank you for the super chat. I do appreciate it. So that was Destiny pretty much recapping, or not recapping, but that was a snippet of her talking about her relationship, being married to LeBarrett. She talked about, of course, the divorce. She said she suffered different types of abuse. She spoke on her having 5 miscarriages. And once she finally got pregnant with their child, he ended up trying to punish her because she would not name the child after him as a junior. He punished her by not I guess clarifying or making note to the insurance that she was indeed his wife. So therefore, after she had the child, she ended up getting a bill for $20,000 when the insurance could have took care of that had he just wrote her off as his wife on the insurance. What else did she talk about? She says that when it comes to the utility contract, she does not have anything with his name on it. She never signed anything. It never belonged to her. Y'all heard her say that she can't believe she's sitting in jail for something that's not real. She spoke on the producer situation where the girl that was assigned to her as the producer eventually went on to date the man that Destiny was dating after LeBaric. She said they met at a birthday party that she had, and he was telling her, "Oh, them my people." So she assumed that was the cousin when he said, "They're my people." And I'm like, "Girl, that wasn't no cousin." And then that's what they told you, because she was also at the party with someone else. And I'm like, no, it was a scheme that they set up. That I think they had been together or probably messing around the whole time. She also highlighted the fact that she felt like he was an opportunist because she dated a rapper at one point on and off. And that's when he came, that's when the friend resurfaced, like, oh, hey, trying to connect. Then when he sees her on Love and Marriage Huntsville and her marriage has ended, then he wants to try and pop back in the picture then. Now that she's decided to not fool with you because she says it's red flags that she noticed, she says, now you're dating the person that was my producer, and now y'all trying to shop a show around. So she feels like he is a opportunist.
This the man she was trying to show off.
Yeah,
What's
Moses.
That is
Moses? Yes.
that
Okay.
is he. Y'all did hear her say at the top of the video that the political answer as to why she's not returning back to Love and Marriage Huntsville is because of contractual issues. Basically saying that's not really what it is, but that's the political response people give you. So that's what I'm gonna
That's a lie.
So, what are y'all thoughts about that?
I'm honestly on the fence because I feel like she has been so dodgy with answering questions, and we've interviewed her ourselves and we couldn't get a straight answer out of her for shit. So for her to now be on this podcast and now you want to tell, the story, and I'm heard that she talked about the abuse before on her own podcast, but we haven't heard about it because she didn't talk about it on the show. And when she was on the show and being interviewed, she didn't talk about it then. And so I'm having a hard time believing everything that she's saying. But I do believe that there is some truth to it because LeBaric just seems to do fucked up stuff, like down to giving her the divorce papers, like right after she had the baby. You mad that she didn't? I believe her when she said that he didn't pay the hospital bill because she didn't want to make the baby a junior. We know that there was some issue about the name. We didn't know what the fuck was going on, but we knew there was issue with the name. Remember, because we, it turned into,
even her not taking his last name.
all of that shit.
Oh,
all
yeah,
of that shit.
I remember that. Yeah.
And I do feel like he comes off as the type of man that was trying to break a strong woman. I think often niggas, instead of getting with the girl who's gonna do all of those things, like there's a girl out there that wants to take your last name. There's a girl out there that, wants to do all of those things, but you don't want her. You want to go get the difficult one and see if you can break the difficult one into doing what you want her to do, but you couldn't. And so then you do all of this vindictive, vengeful shit to her. Yeah, I feel like it absolutely tracks that he would have done some of this shit, but I just have a hard time believing her completely because she's never been forthcoming. And it's just weird to me that you remain friends with Martell, even though he is just as bad to Mel. And I have to wonder, do you feel like he's not as bad as Martell because he is abusive? Because to me, when you say the therapist told you that if she didn't leave, he was going to kill her, because she said that during the interview, they were going to therapy and the therapist said, if you don't leave, he's going to kill you.
Oh, the therapist said that.
Yes. Yeah. So I'm feeling like the physical abuse must have been really bad. And that would make sense as to why he got off television. Because, we pick shit up like that very easily. We see abusive niggas on TV and now they got to answer questions on a reunion show. Shout out to Cliff. So yeah, I don't know if I really believe everything, but I believe some of it.
Yeah, for me, I was gonna say I think the truth is mixed somewhere in the middle. She started off with the whole contractual thing. She's not on the show no more because of contractual, but contractual obligations. I don't remember something. But literally every chance Carlo get, he talking about how basically she wasn't asked back. He did that at the reunion. And I just watched his interview with DJ Richie Sky. He basically said, I don't let people on my show coast for seasons and seasons. And it felt very direct, like Destiny. Like she was handed her slip.
But he does. The Scots.
I agree.
Right. So yeah, that was a lie. And then whenever they asked, did he make more money? She said no, but then in the same breath wanted him to cover your mortgage for a year. Where was they going to prove that if you were the breadwinner?
And
I don't know.
That is interesting because it's like, also you didn't get child support.
Right.
Ain't no way you finna leave me after 3 weeks of having your child because you feeling a way that the child didn't get your full name, and then think that you're not finna have to pay on the back end if he also displayed so much abuse within the marriage. So I'm with y'all. I had some questions, and I can't say that he is completely innocent because I don't believe that he is. But at the same time, I still just had some questions because you went on to befriend Martell continuously and still do to this day. So was it that your abuse didn't look like the abuse he was giving to somebody else? Or did you think that you could fix his abuse because you couldn't fix the abuse of the person that you were with? So, I mean, like I just had questions, but I'm glad she's finally speaking, And then it's funny because
it's a little late, but
that's what I was thinking.
That's true.
And if you speak, I want to hear the whole truth, nothing but the truth. Like, I don't know. I wish her well, but
oh, you know what? This might have been an attempt to get back on the show.
I don't know, but I do want to say this.
I think she's been trying to, do that for a while now.
No, you could be right. That's probably a good check for her. But I will say this. I thought it was interesting that she highlighted not being protected as like a trauma or trigger for her. And my thing was, it's so interesting that you said that you were trying to protect your son. You thought withholding information would protect your son. And it's like, damn, you didn't even protect yourself. Because you should have told, you know what I'm saying? It spoke on what you could speak on. You chose to take the moral high road when you know what this person has put you through. And maybe it's easier said than done, but you should have started with protecting yourself. And you didn't even do that. And I that's sad. It is a very sad situation, Destiny. So I don't know. Maybe Carlos will hear it and possibly bring her back to the show.
I doubt it. He's still throwing shade.
Damn. Then I just wonder how the breakup really happened then. Were words exchanged? Was the next road? What did that look like? Because when the man said, oh, okay, so basically they didn't give you the money or something like that, they won't give you the money. She was like, she just did this eye thing and smiled, but she never really answered the question or anything. So we know it wasn't that. So I'm like, okay, are y'all beefed out? But he ended up doing an interview with her even afterwards. So I don't know. But anything else on the Destiny interview? Okay.